Hello, my name is Raquel Garcia, and this is my Learning Reflective Portfolio for English 1301. In this Learning Reflective Portfolio, I will bring together the major work that I have completed throughout English 1301 and show how much I've grown as both a reader and writer over the course of the semester. By including both my reading and writing reflective portfolios, it will highlight not only my final products, but also the process behind them, how my thinking, analysis, and communication skills have developed over time. Looking back at my work allows me to see patterns in my strengths and areas where I improved and challenges that pushed me to become more confident in my abilities. For my extended critical introduction, I would like to reflect on how my reading and writing skills have evolved and how they support my success in other courses. Through this class, I've learned how to read text more carefully and critically instead of just skimming for information. I now pay closer attention to an author's purpose and tone and use of evidence, which helps me understand complex readings across different subjects better. These skills will especially be helpful in future classes that require analysis and research, like English 1302 and my history class and written responses, since I feel more prepared to break down, more difficult texts and respond thoughtfully. My writing has also improved significantly throughout the semester. I became more comfortable organizing my ideas, developing clear statements, and supporting my points with evidence. The drafting and revision process taught me that strong writing does not happen all at once. I realized that it is a process. Your first draft is not going to be perfect. It's not going to be pristine. It is going to have holes, but hopefully holes that we can fill. And luckily, with the help of my peers and feedback from my professor, I was able to fill those holes. And, through all that feedback and reflection and revision, I was able to generate my final draft. This has changed how I approach writing in general, and it made me more patient and intentional. I used to be very, one and done, and if it didn't come out right the first time, I would get very discouraged and, lose confidence in myself when writing and thought that I wasn't a good writer. But now that I've developed these skills to be more patient, I realize that it is a process, and it's not always going to be perfect on the first try, and writing comes different to all kinds of writers. These skills will continue to shape my academic and professional communication by helping me write more clearly and confidently and effectively. Whether I'm working on essays or emails, presentations, or professional documents in my future career, I know that the skills that I developed in this class set me on a path for that. A few of the questions that I would like to answer. If I learned here, that was a big one that stood out to me. In English 1301, I went into there with some prior knowledge of writing and peer reviews and, critical thinking and seminars and group work, but not a whole lot. I used to always feel like the dumbest in the room. And in this class, I learned that we were already writers and readers. And I was already a writer. I just needed to, grow off of that. And I feel like I learned how to do that through this class with, being able to voice my opinion and being asked, what thoughts I had on certain things. And I didn't receive a lot of that in previous English classes. So it felt like a breath of fresh air to voice what was going on in my head and not just feel like it was too dumb to ask. There was activities in this class that really set me for what I wanted to do. For example, our do nows were the The free writing activities were always like my favorite. They just allowed me to jot down whatever I was thinking in that moment and just keep going off of it. And like it just example like growing. Like I noticed that when I first did it for the first time to our last time doing it, it came out smoother. I wasn't scratching out things as much. I wasn't erasing. I was just going with the flow. And before I knew it, I filled up a page of just free writing. Another activity that would really stand out to me the most would be this one, the Learning Reflective portfolio. I feel like seeing all my work all together, showing that even though I thought that I could never do something like this, I could never piece together a portfolio and never really step out of my comfort zone and record myself for 5 to 10 minutes, really shows that I have grown as a student and individual from this class. And this class has really taught me a lot about myself that I didn't know was already there. Overall, this portfolio represents more than just a collection of assignments. It shows my progress that I am proud of and my effort and the increased confidence I have as a communicator. And the skills that I developed in English 1301 will continue to influence how I think, learn, and express myself, and whether it's my academics or my future career, and just everyday communication. This portfolio demonstrates that I'm not only a stronger reader and writer, but I'm also a more aware and reflective learner. Thank you.